Hey, welcome back to my channel. If you're like many people around the world, you've often wondered how to draw a set of stairs correctly in one-point perspective, just like the set you're seeing right now. And if that question applies to you, you've come to the right place. In this step-by-step demonstration, you'll be able to follow along with me as I draw a set of stairs following the rules of one-point perspective. To work with me on this drawing, you'll need four things. First, a piece of paper that is 9 by 12 size. Second, a pencil. Third, a ruler, preferably one that is 12 inches long. And fourth, and finally, an eraser. So, if you have those four things, you're all set and ready to go. Let's discover the power of perspective and draw a set of stairs together using the rules of one-point perspective. Now let's put some measurements up here for you, ever so carefully. Let's start with these right here. Let's go with 2, 6, and 11. Okay, now start those for me right here in this upper left-hand corner. I want you to go down the side, making sure your paper's like this today, vertical. Okay, here we go. So starting in this corner here, let's go 2 inches right there, and 6 inches right there, and 11 inches right there. Of course, make those marks without moving your ruler once you have it positioned. Okay, same thing on this side. Let's go to the upper right-hand corner. I kind of like to do it by just leaving a little strip of paper here. Same measurements. Let's go 2, 6, and 11. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and start with our 2-inch marks. Line those up carefully like this. And very lightly, let's go ahead and connect those across our page from left to right. Keep in mind in perspective, you want to work as light as possible. We will be doing some erasing, of course. Okay, 6-inch marks. Let's line those up also. And very lightly, let's connect those across our page from left to right. Okay, 11-inch marks. Let's come down here and do the same thing. Line those up carefully. And let's connect left to right. Okay, so that gives you 3 horizontal lines, 2, 6, and 11. Alright, let's make another couple measurements here. Let's use 3 and 8. Okay, now this time I want you to go here to your upper left-hand corner, and this time I want you to go across the top of your paper. Okay, so I'll set my ruler like this, with a little strip of paper just above my ruler, and I'm going to go 3 inches right there, don't move your ruler, and 8 inches right there. Okay, same thing across the bottom of your paper. So I'm lined up right here with the lower left corner. I'm going to go across the bottom, 3 inches. Don't move your ruler, and 8 inches right there. Okay, now let's line up your 8-inch marks, but don't connect them together. Okay, so I've got them lined up right here. Now look up here carefully. I'll show you where I want you to put your line. Now I want that to go right here, in between those 2 horizontal lines. I'll move my ruler so you can see where I put that line. Okay, make sure you're getting that in the right spot. Okay, then my 3-inch marks, I'm going to line them up like this. And I want to draw a line in a similar location right here like that. Okay, very good. Right, let's get out your eraser for a moment. Now over here on this right side, I want to erase this short section of line right here, like that. And I'm going to erase also down here this short section of line right there. Okay. Then over here on this left side, I want you to erase these two longer sections, this one here and this one here. Let's go ahead and get rid of those. So remember, when you're working in perspective, there's always erasing that you need to do. So it's to your advantage to always draw as light as you can, making your life a little easier. Okay, that looks pretty good. All right. Now, I want to double check the size of this square to make sure it's correct. I'm going to take a quick measurement, making sure it's 5 inches wide. Good. I'm going to check it right here also, making sure that it's 5 inches tall. Okay, so this square right here is 5 by 5. All right, fantastic. Now, this line up here, this line is your eye level, the height of your eyes, also known as a horizon line. I want to label it over here today on this right side. So right above the line with small, neat lettering, I'm going to print two words, I, E-Y-E, and level, L-E-V-E-L. Okay, that's the height of our eyes once again. All right, vanishing point. Let's set that up as well. Now for your vanishing point, I want you to use this easy measurement right there, 1 inch. So I want you to measure this time, right here from the left edge of your paper, right there. I want you to go across your eye level line exactly 1 inch and put a small dot there. Now I put my ruler just under my eye level line like this. And I'll put my dot right there, 1 inch. Now sometimes students make their dot really big, but the smaller you make it, the more accurate it will be. Okay, then I want to put the initials V, P, vanishing point, right above that dot right there. Okay, excellent. Let's continue. Now within this square right here, we're going to draw a two-dimensional shape, the shape of a porch or the shape of some stairs. And to do that, we're going to set up a grid or kind of like a graph. So let's give you some new measurements here. Let's use 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, pay close attention. Now I want you to start those measurements right here at this upper left corner of this square, and I want you to go across the top of your square with those measurements. Okay, so my square is of course 5 inches wide, so I'm going to put a mark at 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then I'll move my ruler. I want to do the same thing across the bottom of my square. Okay, so here I go at the bottom, it's 5 inches wide, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, super light, very lightly, I want you to connect those marks from the top of your square to the bottom. It doesn't really matter the order, but I'll just start over here with my 4-inch marks. Super light line, top to bottom, because we're going to do a lot of erasing in just a minute, so please keep them light. Okay, 3-inch marks, right there, and my 2-inch marks, right there, and my 1-inch mark right there. Okay, excellent. Now if you could please use those same measurements down the side of your square also. Okay, my square is 5 inches tall, so I'll go 1, 2, 3, and 4. Same thing over here as well. 5 inches tall. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, super light. Connect those marks across your square. All 1-inch marks lined up. I'll draw across the square like that. Two-inch marks right there. And 3-inch marks right there. And 4-inch marks right there. Okay, so now we have 25 squares, as you can see here. And so within this grid, we're going to draw the two-dimensional shape of a porch. I said draw, but I actually meant erase. Okay, so set down your pencil for a couple minutes, grab your eraser. Okay, on this top row of squares right here, I want you to erase all your squares except this one right here. Okay, now that'll take me a minute, as it will for you also. So I'm just going to start erasing this top row. Hopefully you drew nice and light, so it's easy to erase. Remember, on our top row, we just want there to be one square left over. And hopefully it takes you about the same amount of time to erase as it does for me, so we can stay together on this and not get lost. Okay, so on my top row, I have one square left over. Okay, let's move down. Now on my second row, I want you to erase except for the last two squares here. Don't erase them. Okay, so here I go. I'm erasing 3 of my squares. Okay, very good. As you can see, I have 2 squares left here. Now, if you are thinking, on my third row here, I want to leave 3 squares and erase 2 of them, you are correct. That's what I want to do. So here, my third row, I'm erasing 2 of my squares. Okay, so now I have 3 squares left over. And if you are thinking that on my fourth row, I want there to be 4 squares left over, you are correct. And I just want to erase 1 of them right here. Okay, and then on my fifth row, the row here at the bottom, I don't want to do any erasing. So as you can see here, we have the shape of a porch like this. But having all these grid lines inside this shape will make it confusing. So while your eraser is nice and warmed up, let's erase the rest of the grid lines inside this shape. So when we're done, we just have this outside edge left over. That's all we want to have left over. So let's go ahead and do that, of course. Let's erase here. Ever so carefully. Now this will take a minute. But remember, that's one of the keys of perspective drawing, is to always draw light so that it's easy to erase. You never want to make the mistake in perspective of drawing dark. And since you know that we're going to finalize this drawing in ink, you can let your pen make the dark mark and your pencil everything nice and light, of course. Okay, just about done erasing here. Alright, that looks pretty good to me. Now remember, this right here that we have is a two-dimensional shape. It has height, it has width, it's missing depth. But that's the purpose of perspective, is to make something look three-dimensional. Okay, grab your pencil, grab your ruler, and let's work with our vanishing point. So what I want to do, there's my vanishing point right there, is I want to draw corners numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And I want to draw them all towards my very same vanishing point. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. If you're confused, just take a look up here and we'll work with you. Okay, here's my top corner and I line that up with my vanishing point. Super light, I'm going to draw towards my vanishing point like this, the very light line. And you can see how I've done that right there. That line is going towards my vanishing point. Okay, now I need to do that 10 more times. Okay, here's corner number 2. Now line it up carefully, accurately, draw towards your vanishing point. Here's number 3. Vanishing point. There's number 4. Notice how all your lines are converging on that one dot that you're seeing right there. Okay, continuing. Still going towards my vanishing point. Drawing very lightly, very accurately, making that corner that we're working on line up with that dot. This, of course, is a rule of perspective. Perspective's been around 500 years. Okay, continuing, almost done here. There we go. And right there. Now you can't forget your last one, number 11, this one down here at the bottom. Sometimes that one is forgotten by students, but we need that. Okay. Now, if I'm missing any one of these lines, I'm going to have a problem. So I always like to double check and make sure I have the right number. So let's see how many lines I have. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, 11 is the right number. Okay, let's go ahead and make another quick measurement here. Okay, find your ruler once again, and let's use this easy measurement right there. Now that's going to be the last measurement of the day. Now pay close attention, don't be lost or confused. And what I want to do is go back to the upper left-hand corner of my paper, and I want to go down the side exactly 5 inches. Okay, so I'm going to go like this. 5 inches is right there, put a little mark. Upper right-hand corner, let's do the same thing. Let's line that up. 5 inches right there. Okay, now I need you to pay close attention. Go ahead, line up your marks with your ruler. Don't connect them together. Okay, now with my ruler lined up with those 2 marks, like this, very straight across, I want to draw one short horizontal line. Now I'll draw it here, it'll be hard for you to see, so I'll move my ruler in just 1 second. Just look up here, and I want that line to go right here, in between my first 2 vanishing point lines. Now I'll move my ruler so you can see where I put the line. Put it right there, as you can see. Okay, now go ahead and get out your eraser. Now beyond that horizontal line, I want to erase my vanishing point line, which you drew very, very lightly. Okay. And I also want to erase this vanishing point line as well. Drawing light and perspective is very important. Okay, now once I've erased that line there like that, this becomes clear to us. So, this section right here that we just finished drawing, that's the top of our top stair. That looks very good. Okay, let's continue. Now, I need you to find something for me and pay close attention so you're not lost. I need you to find this place right here where these 2 lines come together, forming a corner right there. This is the spot I'm looking at. And I need you to put your ruler on this sharp corner so your ruler is straight up and down, vertical. Okay. So I put it like that. Now what I'm doing is trying to make sure that my ruler is straight up and down like this. Now if you draw crooked stairs, I would need to mark you down, of course. Okay, and then I'm going to draw straight down, stop right there, just like that. See how 3D that looks. Okay, grab your eraser. Let's erase this vanishing point line here. Like that. Okay, and notice how 3-dimensional that's beginning to look. Okay, next step. See where these 2 lines come together right here, forming a corner. This time, put your ruler on this spot with your ruler straight across, horizontal. Taking your time as you do that, trying to make sure your ruler is straight, not crooked. When it's straight, draw across to the left, a short line right there, just like that. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and erase once again. All right. Now that's the process, and we want to repeat those steps all the way down the stairs, slowly, carefully, patiently, so you don't get marked down for crooked stairs. So right here, where the lines touch, straight down with a vertical line. One of the things that can help your ruler remain straight is maybe you could compare your ruler with this vertical stair line right here to see if your ruler looks straight or not. When you're sure that it is, draw straight down. Okay, now at this point I'm going to save all my erasing until the end. I'm just going to continue that process. Don't rush through it. Okay, straight across, horizontal, like that. I'd like to be patient as I do this. Going to go vertical now. It's always disappointing to have stairs turned in that are crooked. Try to avoid that. Okay. Straight across. Horizontal to the left. Straight down vertical. Patiently looking. Straight down. Okay. Straight across. Right here. Straight across to the left. Okay. And then the last line of the day is a vertical line. Right here. And again, I'm taking a careful look, comparing my ruler with this straight vertical line here to see if my ruler is straight up and down. Draw straight down. Okay, excellent. Now grab your eraser and let's clean up those vanishing point lines. Now notice how there's been a lot of erasing today. I'll say that again, it's really important to always draw light when working in perspective. Okay, let's get rid of those. Carefully like that. Okay, now there it is, a set of stairs, three-dimensional in 1-point perspective with height, width, and depth. So, your piece of paper is flat, but you've created the illusion of 3 dimensions on it, of height, width, and depth. You're kind of like a magician with a pencil. In the outstanding book, How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way, this ability to create the illusion of depth and space on a flat piece of paper is called the power of perspective. In fact, that's the name of chapter 3 that you're seeing right now. Please don't ignore the power and importance of learning perspective as you continue on your journey to artistic greatness.